boundaries, because I know that when I first trained, I saw boundaries as quite a bad thing. I didn't want to stop at the end of 50 minutes sometimes. It felt inappropriate to suddenly cut off what a client was saying and saying, we have to stop now, I'll see you next week. It felt like I was giving less to the client. But I've now recognised through bitter experience, really, that holding boundaries is an incredibly positive thing to do for a client. It's very containing.
Yeah, and it's not just boundaries within the session either. You know, it's part of your contracting. If you might say, you know, in the formal words to your client, if we meet outside of here, how are we to do we acknowledge one another? You know,
and I think that's particularly important. To do that if you're working and living in the same locality.
Yes.
And you go off to Tesco's or whatever, and you're pretty well bound to see one or two clients pretty much every time you go into the supermarket, because you've seen a lot of people over the years. And so I think it's really important to discuss that kind of thing with people so that they know where you stand. And I don't think there's a set rule for how you should behave and what you should do.
Yeah.
I think you have to work that out for yourself. Thinking about it from the point of view of how would it feel for the client if you were all sort of friendly and chatty and things, and you saw them when they were with their mother, who perhaps didn't know that they were seeing you for counselling, and might say to the client afterwards, well, who was that? You know, so there are a lot of things to think about, I think.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing I was thinking of was sort of really the other side of the coin, and this might reflect my inexperience and maybe sense of self, but clients seeing me out of the counselling room as well. I think that has an impact on me, you know, me being out with my friends and behaving in a way that I wouldn't behave. You know, that feels slightly weird and feels like something that needs to be dealt with.
It's difficult for both people, I think.